What is step 3? Can you say it for us?
Turned our will and our life over to the care of God.
Made a decision to turn our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. And this has no effect unless it's followed through with step 4, because step 3 is just a decision. First, we have to realize that something's been blocking us from God, and what has been blocking us from God is self-will. Self-will has been blocking us from God's will. Then we have to make a decision to turn our lives and will over to the care of God, replacing that self-will with God's will. In order to do this, we have to identify the manifestations of self-will so we can start to eliminate them. So, a lot of us don't even realize that our self-will and the stuff that we've been doing, our ego, our character defect, that's what's blocking us from God. Once we get rid of the drugs and alcohol, that's the behaviors that we have to go to change. And that's what we do in step 4. Step 4 is simply looking at those manifestations of self-will and identifying them so that later on, when we get to step 5, we can talk them over with another person and we can learn more about them. And the reason you go to step 5 and you talk to somebody about them is because we're so close to our own situation that we're lost in the fog and the anxieties and the fears and the resentments that we don't see it. So we start writing them down as we understand them about ourselves as this fearless and searching moral inventory. And then we talk to somebody that's not emotionally involved with what we're going through. And they're going to help you see things in a more realistic light. So it's very important that we carry these things through. Step 3 is a vital and a crucial step, but it has no permanent effect unless we follow it through with action. So if you did step 3 and you're not going to move on to step 4, you just wasted your time. How many of you know how to run a business a little tiny bit, or worked at McDonald's, or worked at some company that has inventory? What do you do with the inventory? Do you just like hope it's back there, hope you got enough, hope the stuff you got back there is good enough? Or what do? You take inventory. You go through and you go, okay, this is the stuff that's selling, this stuff's not selling, let's get rid of the stuff that's not selling, let's look at what's good, let's look at what's bad, let's keep what's good, let's get rid of what's bad. Now look at yourself. You are the most important business on earth. The most important project to work on is you, your self-growth, your mental health, your less stress. When I say no stress, I'm not talking about getting pushed out of your comfort zone. I think a lot of people get that, oh, my anxiety. If you're getting pushed into an uncomfortable situation that you're gonna learn something from, that's good. That is good anxiety. That is good stress. But if you're being a piece of you're not following through with your commitments, you're over promising and under delivering, and that's the anxiety you're feeling, yeah, that's bad. That's because you're being a piece. That's not really so much anxiety and stress. That's stress and anxiety is self-induced because you're ashamed of lying. If you're not taking this personal inventory, you're looking at the good and the bad inside yourself. Pretty much you're gonna have so much crap taking space that doesn't need to be there that you're gonna go broke inside, be miserable. And when they say when you get to step 4, and why I'm always pushing so much to write is because these guys that have been around for 80 years, they all say the same thing, write it down, journal, write it down, journal. That's how important it is to do that. If we don't write things down as we go through, we won't be able to retain the information we need in the way that we need to see it. There is no such thing as a mental inventory. If you don't go to the trouble to write it down, you have not taken an inventory. If you're just like, oh, I thought about it last night and I got these things in my mind, you didn't take an inventory. Write it down. Bust out your pad. How did I do today? What were my thought processes? Oh man, I was a prick to that guy. That girl, I shouldn't have said this and that. I was wrong, whatever the situation was. You probably admit it, and then you go make amends. Personal inventory is a written list. Am I really like that? Ooh. Look in your mirror and ask yourself the hard questions. And then a moral. Be truthful about it. No such thing as a mental list, okay? Remember that.